We humans live and die by stories. Telling and hearing stories has been an essential part of our survival throughout millions of years because it enabled us to learn about things without experiencing them directly. If you were a prehistoric human and someone from your family or gang or however people lived back then, if they encountered a tiger and survived, they would tell that story to you and the others. They would tell you what they did to survive, so you'd have some idea of what to do when you encounter a tiger. So people who told and listened to stories were the ones to survive and went to have kids, who went to have kids, who went to have kids, and today we just love stories. Now, stories can be told in a lot of different forms. In writing, movies and shows, through music or even video games, and a lot of other creative ways too. But I'm here to talk about the one that we all love and can't get our eyes away from. The good old books. Not! Welcome to the Communication Couch. I mean, don't get me wrong, books are great and all that, but they already get so much acknowledgement, and sometimes book people tend to look down on TV as some kind of pleb entertainment. So this video is made in honor of TV. When I was 12 years old, my wonderful parents bought me my own TV for birthday. It was a small step for the worldwide consumer electronic market, a medium-sized step for my parents' budget, but a huge leap for the spiritual development of this young boy. I was able to watch whatever I wanted, well, technically whatever was on TV, whenever I wanted it. Well, unless it was past my bedtime. Okay, apparently there were some limitations, but for a 12-year-old, it meant living the dream. Also note that I wasn't very big on sports and playing outside like most kids did. As a matter of fact, the other kids in the neighborhood used to call me the one that's never seen the sun. But look at me now, I have 271 subscribers. Who's laughing now? Well, it's probably still them. And I can't tell why I love TV so much. I think I was kind of bored with my real life because I was a bit of a loser at school. The teacher hated me, although I also hated her, so guess we were even. And I wasn't particularly good at anything. But in that magical box, my reality didn't matter. There were stories of great adventures, of around-the-world trips, of courage and honor, passionate love and loyal friendships, of trying and failing and trying again and succeeding, and of course, of kicking bad guys' asses. Of course, all of this was great entertainment, but looking back, what TV gave me was so much more than just entertainment. There were things that I didn't get to learn from my parents. Not because they are bad parents, they did a great job parenting me, but because they're human with all the limitations and flaws that implies. I've never heard them apologize to each other. They aren't really good at listening to each other. They also never really displayed much affection to one another. But maybe that's also just a Balkan thing. So I couldn't learn these things from them, but I saw them on TV. Somehow, when I was a kid, they played a whole lot of rom-coms on TV. And yes, while these movies certainly give you some unrealistic expectations and use tropes which can actually be damaging, they also send implicit positive messages about admitting when you're wrong, about forgiveness, about how to treat people around you, or simply about being a good person. Okay, saying that romantic comedies make you a better person is a bit of an odd statement, but here's what I meant. In those movies, the main characters are usually nice, charming people. So the message you ultimately get, especially as a child, is that good things happen to good people, which is a positive message. I don't know if it makes more sense now, but let's just roll with it. So this makes me feel a bit like Abed from Community, but I have to give some credit for me having social skills and relationship skills, if you can call it that way, to the rom-coms I watched as a kid. And all mainstream movies have these implicit messages, even action movies. When you strip them down, they are stories about courage and persistence and standing up to a challenge even if you're facing very unfavorable odds. And that is a worthwhile message. And of course, as you get older, you watch more and more complex movies and shows which deal with more layered and more refined themes. And the deeper you delve into them, the more they shape you. This goes especially for TV shows, but willingly or subconsciously you start identifying with TV characters and imitating their traits and actions. So just like the stories of old, like David and Goliath or the myth of Prometheus, inspired and made people better, so do the stories of today. And research even shows that people who do this, who identify with fictional characters and imagine their life as if they were in a movie, tend to be more successful and lead more interesting lives. Now some people say, oh, but those are movies, real life is different. But why would it have to be different? Why would you have to settle for less because it's real life? Fight for what you want to achieve, have, or do. You'll have to put in a lot of effort and maybe it won't even work, but if it does, you'll have a great story to tell. Life is a movie that you're playing for yourself. Your audience is the most important person in your life, so you're obliged to make sure the viewer is enjoying the movie. Thank you for watching and have a great day.